You don't have Richard.
Well.
I just don't remember my
Might
shirt.
I turn it on right now? Like, you want me to keep it on? Or do you want me to go ahead and? I'm gonna end it.
Well, it's on.
Is it on already?
Yes.
Really?
I couldn't make
I'm
it go
sure.
up. Let the feel. Everybody likes to- That's why I like.
Test, mic test. Test, mic test.
Who's gonna tell you?
Are we on the air already?
Yes. You're on the air, but the mics are off.
3 more minutes.
Ready to try?
Yes. Yes. Now can we stand for the pledge of allegiance? Pledge of allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Honor the
Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one indivisible.
Do we have anybody for public comments?
Me.
Okay.
So just an update on the park. I think we're pretty pretty much almost done. We've got most of the trees that people, you know, put out there already up, and the lights are up, so I'm sure you guys have been driving by. We checked the big tree, the tree works, so come Friday, it's your big day. You're gonna hit the switch and turn the big tree on, and that'll stay lit up. So I want to invite all of y'all to come out on Friday for the lighting of the tree. We're also gonna have the elections office. They're gonna be passing out hot chocolate to the kids, and to everyone who's there. The sheriff's department's gonna have their popcorn machine going. They're gonna be giving out popcorn. I'd like to invite the police department to also be out there, maybe passing out treats to the kids. One of the church groups is also gonna be passing out some treats. We're gonna do a movie in the park. It's gonna be The Grinch. It's still Christmas. I don't think the old one. I don't think the kids will like that one. It's kind of the newer version, but it's not the Jim Carrey one. I don't really like. He's kind of scary. So it's the one in between. We will have a Grinch running around trying to steal the kids' stuff at the park, also taking pictures. And Santa will be here also, and Mrs. Santa. They'll be underneath the gazebo, taking pictures and visiting with the kids. Don't know how. I don't even want to guess how many we're expecting. He's 35 already for the parade, and then of course if all the people who line up for the parade make their way to the park. But it should turn out to be a very good event, just like our Halloween event. So Jesse, thank you for all your help and sweat. And, you know,
I did a great job. Committee, the OEA.
OEA,
Explain to me what it means.
the OEA is Odum Events Association. We started meeting around June. Just a bunch of people. We started putting stuff on Facebook. A bunch of volunteers. Everyone's volunteered, and they've been out there like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We've been out there pretty much every day this week, trying to finish things up. Hopefully next year it'll be a little bit bigger and better. So we're kind of looking at, you know, next year we have a few other events, but the whole association basically is to kind of bring these types of activities to Odum. Next year we have our Easter event scheduled. We're scheduling a few other events next year as well. So, you know, we're always accepting members. There's two ways of helping. Joining as a member, and then of course just joining as a volunteer, you know, putting up stuff, helping with decorating. So I really appreciate the council's support. We couldn't do it without y'all's support, of course. So thank y'all very much, and we hope everything turns out good on Friday. Thank y'all.
Anybody else? Do you have anybody? Now we want to quarterly report from the municipal court, Judge Pedro.
They were so filthy, they need to look up your.
Good evening to everyone, Madam Mayor, Council, City Attorney Effie, and the City Administrator. And my apologies for not being here in November. I was at a mandatory Texas Municipal Court education services that I must attend and complete, or else I'll be kicked out. So I was in Laredo taking this class. But here is your monthly report, and it is for a whole fiscal year. And you can see where it starts. The first quarter on the first page is for the year 2021. The second quarter, the third quarter, and the fourth quarter was 2021. And so even though COVID, I'm real impressed with the job that Francis has done with with Rosie that helps her part-time and continuing to collect. You can see when COVID was hit the hardest, how it went down, how the amount collected went down, and you can see the total amount that was collected, $484,833.85. You can see how much the city kept, and you can see how much was paid to the state. And so We are doing our best. I'm still working some out of my house, but I have opened the office and I'm there once or twice a week. And, so we're just gonna see how it goes. I'm sure y'all heard on the news about Nueces County opening their municipal court beginning, next month. And so then here, you hear on the news about COVID starting up again, and then the new one that they have that's going. So I'm just gonna play it by ear. We are having court where people are coming in, and of course, they are screened before they go and before they go into the courtroom. So we're just gonna take it a little bit at a time to see if eventually we can open the court full time. But I'm just so proud of the revenue that has been collected when we didn't have anyone there. And I mean, like the defendants coming in. Yes, so you can see the cases that were filed are in the middle, and that were active and inactive, and then you can see the citations that were issued and the violations that had more than one charge on each ticket. I'm here. If y'all have any questions, please feel free to ask me. And I just am real proud of the money that is coming in.
Judge, are we participating in the municipal court week this week?
You mean for the parade?
No, this is the Texas Municipal League has a court week, and this is the week for the municipal courts.
No, sir, we are not. I was not aware of that. I haven't even heard who was supposed to notify us. TMC?
Yeah, I got TMC.
Really? No, I did not receive
Okay.
one. I did not receive
It
one.
just, they got also it just to recognize the municipal court. Good job they're doing.
Where do we go or what?
Oh.
Francis, have you heard of that? We've not.
We do have that, Judge, it's just, we have not participated in that. Usually during that municipal court week, you're supposed to reach out to the community, try to inform them of what the court does.
Yeah.
But because of the way COVID had,
Last year?
yes, we did not participate in it. The year before we did it, when we did the
Okay.
National Night Out, we
Okay,
did
good.
inform them that way.
Just
But it is something that we look to do in the near future. We just didn't have anything ready to go this week.
it's just to show a good job that y'all guys are doing. So.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And will y'all be in the parade Friday?
Yes.
The council will be in the parade
Some-
Friday?
Yeah, I don't know if anybody else.
Everyone's going?
Of
The parade?
Yeah.
You'll be on the float?
We're gonna ride your golf cart.
Yeah, we're all gonna be on my golf cart. We'll be hanging like. So, yeah.
So Janie, where is that money?
The money? What is it? It goes-
You
The
can-
city?
She's showing us money kept by the
Yes, sir.
city. Where is it?
See at the very bottom, sir, the one that I highlighted in yellow?
Mhm.
That's the total amount that she collected, the 484,833.85. And that's just from fines and court costs, has nothing to do with what the what the police department does or anything. You can see where kept by the city, $311 or $311,858.07.
Mhm.
And then the 163, 264.07, that we do not have. That has been paid to the state. Mandatory, different things that they're paid that we have to do. So the only thing that the city kept was $311,858.
So that 311, that's all the citations from your department?
Yeah, well,
Yes.
Can I, it is from all the citations that are issued, but not all from what has been issued by the Odum Police Department. It's all the citations that have been filed with the court. So it could be some from 2015, some from, that we collected from 2007. So it is all citations that have been filed with the Odum municipal courts. It's not all coming from the police department.
Yeah, we do belong to the collection agency of Line Barber, and then we have another one, Francis, who's the other one that we sent to.
We also send, we're participating with the phase of their program with holidays.
and the driver's license. Okay, and so after 3 months that they don't answer to us and submitting to Line Partner, and they take over, they have more facilities that they can use, and more tools that they can use to Social Security, where that is working on now, driver's license and so forth, so they can help us a little bit more. And I'm just so proud of Omni that she said that as reported to Austin, and they're not able to renew their license until they pay the ticket. And I mean, I think the last couple of weeks, we've had like 3 or 4 that are asking and begging for me to release the citation or release the money that's owed so that they can get their driver's license. I know that I feel like I'm a bad person, but we've been waiting 2 or 3 years for the money and they've never paid. And for some reason or other, eventually they find the money to pay us. As soon as it's paid, Francis has the authority to call and if the release of their driver's license. Yes, sir. But the money, I don't know. The money goes straight to general fund and
It goes to general fund. It's put in general fund use wherever it's needed, which we went through that in budget.
Okay.
It's in there.
Okay.
It goes direct to what they stay with is what the state's gonna be wanting from them, which is the 113, but it'll vary, of course.
But this is just the money that comes from any case that goes to her courtroom. This is not the impound, and
no.
this is just a court case.
Not the
Okay.
account, is that correct, sir?
Okay.
No,
Okay,
just the money that's collected on fines and court costs, whether it's old cases or new cases or,
Okay.
you know, so she's real good about sending delinquent letters and even if, they send us $50 a month, they send us a letter with their situation financially. And I always take that into consideration, you know, and if they can pay $50 a month, I'm happy with that, sir, as long as that we get a little bit. But no, everything is deposited to the city and it's used wherever it's needed.
I just have just like 2 questions.
Yes, sir.
How successful are the pre-trials that you do through Zoom? Like how often do the people actually get on Zoom to have a pre-trial
Okay,
with you?
pre-trial conferences, let me explain. A citation is issued, let's say for speeding, and that person just says, I'm not guilty, I wasn't guilty. There was 4 or 5 cars going right close to me and they picked me out and gave me the ticket. That's one of the excuses.
Yes. No, but I was just wondering, sorry, but like how successful is it when that people actually get on Zoom to meet with you through a pre-trial?
I am not
Is it
aware,
actually
sir,
pretty good?
because pre-trial is something different.
Oh, okay, so she
Pre-trial,
does
They
that.
come before me and they'll say, I'm gonna plead not guilty. I plead not guilty. That stops the case with me. I can't hear any of the evidence or nothing, because that would be unfair for me to hear the defendant's information when the officer's not standing there with me. So I accept their plea of not guilty. She takes it over. She sets it on another docket, and her and Epi do the pre-trials. And if they still decide not guilty, then I may have a non-jury trial with them, or I may have a jury trial. So it's between Francis and Epi.
To do the, and
I
you do
can
the
answer that.
Zoom. Okay.
So the very first one wasn't as successful as it is today. We can schedule up to 30 people for one docket in the time frame of that morning. And out of the 30, we get maybe about 29.
Oh, good.
29, that's pretty good.
29.
They
Very good.
learned. So I'm more familiar and more experienced with it now. So we have, I mean, those are the best things that we could do to handle the cases with our prosecutor. Works it out. If not, then we move forward with getting the docket scheduled for their trial in front of the judge.
And
The
that's,
judge doesn't do anything with the pretrial, like she stated. She can't hear anything until she knows for sure they're gonna go to trial.
I was just wondering what percentage of people
It's
actually.
it has been going up, so that's,
Very
that
few.
that is,
Okay.
that is wonderful. That is like,
Because they gotta pay for it.
Okay.
I mean, they gotta pay for it. I got
Yeah.
one, just, how many citations back a couple months have we issued out for abandoned homes, weeds, or just stuff from the from the,
We do not have that information. I believe all these are traffic citations.
so we need to
It's
get,
everything together, grouped together. If you wanted that kind of information, you can submit the request and we can run your report.
okay,
But it doesn't give, I mean, we don't have it broken down. It's just the number of violations that are filed for that month, for the year.
But we can't put a
But if we
report
can run a
together.
report specific to those violations, you just need to submit the request.
You know,
and we'll be able to-
I just want, because there's people asking, hey, how about that building? Everybody knows what building it is. Is we do anything about it? I would like to know that report so I can tell them, hey, we sent them citation and stuff like that.
Yes.
And then the judge could call them, hey, take care of the problem.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
His code enforcement officer does give a lot of citations, and it's my understanding, Chief, you can correct me, I hope I'm not saying wrong information, but they really do a good job as far as, it's my understanding, the code enforcement officer goes and leaves a citation, and they have like 30 days
Yeah,
to correct the
yes,
problem, whether to cut the grass or whether a dirty yard, beer cans, everything, and so they have 30 days to collect. It's a warning, like a warning.
Okay,
And then some do it, some do not. When they do not, then it's filed in our court.
I'm just curious to see how much we had. So,
Yes,
oh,
and
thanks.
it's just a wonderful program that is working,
Yeah.
and, you know, I believe that they even cut grass and charge it to the defendant. Is that correct, or whoever lives there?
Oh, yeah, what happens is, they get a letter.
Correct.
And once the letter is received, they have a certain amount of time to resolve it. It could be from a vehicle, it could be from a grass, or high weeds, I'm sorry, not the grass, it's called high weeds. From there, what happens is if they don't comply with that, the officer goes out there and re-inspects, tries to make contact with them, they can't, and a citation is sent.
So,
The citation is sent, actually is given to the court actually.
yeah, that's what I said. The court usually does citations. I
So
mean,
from
yeah.
there, then, individuals come and, then we come and pay for the citation, the individual could come and, either pay for it, or they could, resolve it
Yeah.
with the prosecutor, or go to trial with the judge.
Okay,
So
thanks.
Sometimes, of course, it's a lengthy.
Oh, yeah. It's,
because,
you know,
sometimes-
trying to get a hold of somebody and, yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that.
I understand. Thanks. I'm just curious.
So, just so I can better understand this
Yes.
report, in the middle, where it's giving you October through September, and it has case activity.
In case.
Can you go over October and explain to me what all active begin, inactive, reactive,
You have
filed?
one of you have here, Francis? The October,
I'm just
active
curious on
beginning
what
is
that is.
296, the inactive is 2239.
So what's active begin? What is that? What does that mean?
Cases that are pending, active,
You're wanting to know what the columns mean?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so the
active begin is what?
beginning means how many actual pending violations are pending at the beginning of the month.
Okay, so, okay.
During that month, we could send cases to our collection agency. It becomes inactive. We could also get people to come in and resolve citations that had been reported to the collection agency prior to the month, so they become active again. So that's what those columns are. If we send them to the collection agency in our system, it becomes what we call inactive. If somebody comes in and resolves a violation, goes before the judge, gets put on community service, or gets put on a payment plan, we have to reactivate the case. So that's what those columns there
So
are.
you've got that many inactive?
Well, and inactive, remember, means I sent them to the collection agency, so therefore, like the judge said,
Wow.
they have better resources to try to contact people that maybe had bad addresses, or they failed to appear to take care of a violation. Even though we continuously send them notices, they failed to appear, so we send them over to the collection agency. They have better resources to be able to do the skip tracing and find a better address, or send them out. They get a letter that's a little bit more.
So I'm assuming out of that 2,239, you only had 20 that came back as reactive.
And those 20 could be from this month, or they could have been in September. But they roll over. They roll over each month.
See, and those go to Lineberg, don't they?
Yes.
they do.
we do
They
that
go,
each month.
and the Omni,
And Omni
Yes.
yes.
When
and
we
they-
send them to become inactive, they go to the Linebarger Collection Agency, they go to the Failure to Appear program,
okay.
and they're also considered an active warrant.
We sort of like, don't
Yeah.
let any drop.
Yeah, that's good. Good.
I just wanted to understand what all that is.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It's a good report.
And the reason why the months are the way they are is because of our budget, it's lined up with our budget. Is
With
that
our
why?
budget,
Because of October through September,
Yes.
and I hate that. I wish we could get calendar.
oh,
Don't change it on us, Isaac.
No, I'm just.
Don't change it on us. Very
I'm not used to seeing that.
It can get confusing because,
Yeah.
yeah, it gets confusing because it affects the calendar
Yes,
year
yes.
compared to the fiscal year. So before we used to do January to December, and it
Yeah.
threw us off because the fiscal year was October
Yeah.
to September.
Yep.
So I had to change everything, and now it reflects the fiscal year, what
Okay.
reflects, and what you should see in the budget.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
You can see that the balance, the amounts collected have gone up, they've
Yeah.
gone down. And, we try as hard, I'm never gonna have anybody that works as well and as hard as Francis does. And of course, she's got a part-time helper that is there, but, she is just like needing help because it's just too much, but she does a very good job, a very, very good job that she does. Any
Now-
questions?
Now, if there's somebody from McAllen that's been given a citation,
Yes, sir.
they don't have to come all the way back.
No, sir. They usually call
Okay.
and arrangements, they're told what to do, what steps to take, and they can take care of it by mail. We do need a plea first, guilty, no contest, or not guilty, or they pay by money order, they pay, what is the other that takes the money, Francis?
Online.
Online services. We collect a lot of money from online services, and that's good money. That's good money that online.
So if they plead not guilty, do you put them on Zoom?
No, if they plead not guilty, they go to a different category, so it won't fall through the cracks. And eventually, we're gonna send them a notice that they're coming to pretrial first. And if he can't work it out with them, then it comes back to me, and then we'll go to trial.
And do you do pretrial by Zoom?
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Okay.
And he's been getting he's been like clearing a lot of them because I see them, I have to approve them, and I see that he is doing it. And so if they had pled not guilty and he can see the report and talk to them and so forth, maybe he convinces them and give them a deal or something that they're willing to accept, and that way we just get them out of the way.
There you go.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, we get them
All right.
out of the way. And another point that I was gonna bring to y'all is the active and inactive. The inactive are people who have pled. They're not pending cases. These are people who have already said, I'm guilty. We assess a $400 fine, the court costs. They forget about us, and those are the people that
Okay.
mostly get sent to the collections department.
Okay.
Anything else? Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
I appreciate y'all. Yes.
Okay. Next, we have Stephanie with Regis.
Good evening. For the month of November, you had a total of 49 calls in city and county, 22 of them being in the city limits that were not secondary responses. 3 of them were out of compliance. 2 of them were dispatch delays that we're still researching as where the communication went wrong at. And then the middle one that is showing the crew was trying to find the location on GPS. It showed them 3 different areas in that same area, trying to figure out, I guess, which house or. We had 5 mutual aid calls. All 5 of them that were in the city limits for Odum coming from, and those units were responding from Sinton. One of them was actually in the county that was also mutual aid that's on the county report. Total calls listed in the city limits, 27. Your average response time for primary was 7 minutes, 4 seconds. For your secondary unit was 13 minutes, 8 seconds. And on your county calls, you had 22 calls. If you notice on the county report, in the comments where it's got several different run numbers, that's like maybe it was an accident and they had 5 or 6 different patients or whatever. That's why those are located, because it's one call, several different patients.
Who's the county? Which ones are the county?
On the counties, yes.
And which ones are they?
The first one is like 77 northbound at County Road 29.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
These over 9 minutes,
Do we get money?
we're supposed to have another ambulance in town?
Huh?
Because they're all from Sinton.
The, secondary unit is stationed in Zen.
What is the, city agreement with the regions on secondary ambulance?
Secondary is, they do the mutual aid in this area.
No, but what's in the contract?
I would have to go back on track. Yes, it was.
Is that, I'm not mistaken, I thought it was, we're supposed to have 2 units here. When one is gone, there's a backup. Okay, and who takes county money? From the county costs?
Subsidy. Subsidy.
Really?
Yes.
Who gets you?
Let's see, yes.
That's the city, we see it.
I haven't seen it, this one yet. I know that it doesn't come like January, February, I don't know if they're a year, or not be September, or October, too. But I do know that you can get it.
Okay.
It's like 13,000.
It sounds like 18, 15,
Yeah,
18,
it's
something
a
like
good-
that. It was,
Back then.
And I understand you have the mutual aid, but if we're out doing mutual aid and we're gonna leave Odum citizens without an ambulance during the time.
The mutual aid's coming into Sinton, or coming in from Sinton on those
But
mutual aid
when you're
calls.
going out, you never go out?
When we go out, we backfill with the secondary unit
Yeah. From where?
from either Corpus or Sinton.
That's a problem. To me, that's a problem. I gotta wait for ambulance come from Corpus, so I wanna see the contract, I wanna see what the commitment is, or the agreement is with the city. Because if I'm not mistaken, I was told that you're supposed to have a secondary ambulance here on site to be able to respond to that call.
Okay.
So I appreciate it.
Yes.
Another give it for 8?
Yes.
Awesome.
If the ambulance ends up having breakthrough, break out, I should be in there with my chase unit. And then we'll have probably cookies set up at the park.
that's good, thank you. Any other questions? Thank you, Mike, appreciate it. Next, we have, water, wastewater department, David Marks, but they're both, the other two are on the maintenance also, they're all out working on that water.
Okay.
So,
Because
Yeah, I don't think you wanna know.
Did you do it?
I don't think you wanna know.
No, really, what happened?
She's let you know the meeting.
He's the. He's just.
So do you want to give us the status on the water leak?
Sure. The water leak is a 12-inch main in Meadowbrook main wire. It's a C900 plastic pipe. It was hit by a trench unit for the third-party contractor. Now that pipe's 48 inches in the ground, and they ran right on top of it. And they skipped over 36 inches of the pipe, cracking the top of the pipe. So we're going to sever the pipe at 42 inches and put 2 slip joints and another piece of C900 in it to replace it. And this is something that I wanted to visit with the mayor on, because that's a third-party contractor that hit our main, and we may be able to go after them for certain cost evaluations for our supplies and our time and everything else. And that way we can recoup that money for that operation.
What's the repair time, more or less?
Well, I just left there and they just located the lines. We're probably looking at about another 2 to 3 hours. It just depends on separating the lines. 12-inch lines are difficult because they tend to move, especially when they're wet, is as bad as that one is. So anytime you get a line that much water going, it's a mess. And then after the meeting, I'll go back over there and follow up on all of that.
Okay.
And then find out
And
what
John,
the contract is.
can you get with the guys and see what kind of equipment they need?
Sure, I was currently.
My generator's up there.
In the middle of that.
My light's up there,
Yes,
my
sir.
gas is up there. And then
Okay.
guys, I said, oh, it'll work, sir. And we need that stuff for.
Right. No, I was currently working with them on that.
Yeah.
We're trying to get some other issues worked out
Yeah,
as
I was
well,
just-
so
just-
yes. But that's one other issue that we're gonna deal with. We're gonna deal with the contractor to see if we can recoup our money. So they should have known better. They shouldn't have breached the 36-inch pipe. And they breached 48 inch. So they're deeper than they should be anyway.
Are you staying for the whole meeting?
Sir?
You gonna stay for the whole meeting?
Yes.
I'm about to have a question at the end. I'm gonna do this for you.
Okay, sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next, discuss, consider, and take action to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of November 2nd, 2021.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion made by Hector, is there a second?
I'll second
Second by Isaac. Any discussion? No? Okay, take vote from page 1.
Yes.
Page 2.
Yes.
Page 3.
it. Yes.
Page 4.
Yes.
Page 5.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Okay, next we have, discuss, consider, and take action to approve the American Rescue Act ARP Management Service, contract between the City of Odum and Grant Works Incorporated. Jamie,
Yes, we have, that works. Do y'all have any questions? We have the contract. It was looked over by city attorney. He approved it. So if y'all have any questions or anything, they're here. In case you have any concerns. We're having a meeting with them on Thursday morning also to see how the funds are gonna be.
Without going to an hour discussion in 5 minutes, can you tell me what this is about?
This situation where, I think at the last meeting, the council approved Grant Works to take charge of this, I think some monies that were coming in.
Yes.
And it pretty much just kind of sets out what the duties are and what the rates are gonna be.
By percentage, is that what
Yeah,
that is?
percentage, yeah.
Okay.
And being that we didn't approve the signing of this contract by the mayor, I just wanted to put back on the agenda that you guys approved the contract.
Okay.
And it's done.
Is there a time frame for this? I don't see no dates or nothing.
It just depends on how long these guys correspondence, my understanding.
Is there a time frame for this, a year or after a year?
As far as the funds being incurred or expended or incurred, they have to be, all the funds have to be incurred by December 31st, 2024. And then expended, which means projects have to be completed by December 31st, 2026.
So this is free.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I make a motion that we approve the ARP management service contract between the City of Odum and Grant Works.
motion made by Isaac and second by Jesse. Any discussion? Okay, we'll take a vote. Page 1.
Yes.
Page 2.
Yes.
Page 3.
Yes.
Page 4.
Yes.
Page 5.
Yes.
Okay, motion passed. Next, we have discussed, consider, and take action to approve resolution number 600, casting votes for the San Patricio County Appraisal District Board of Directors. And this is done every year, right? We have to do it every year to
Cast your votes. Your 19 votes. You can put them all to one person. You can split them amongst all of them. However y'all want to
Thank
do
you,
it.
ladies.
Thank you all so much. We'll talk to you all more on Thursday.
Okay.
I don't really know a lot of the people on this list.
Ron knows Joe.
I know John McCon.
She's very good.
Yeah.
She's very conscientious.
The other one is the tax collector, right?
Marcy.
Marcy Sella.
Yeah, she's a tax collector.
She's good too.
Can we split the votes?
You can split the votes, yes.
I just asked.
And these people became candidates how? Like how is this list created?
The county sends it to
The
us.
county,
Oh.
yeah, this is from the county. This is not-
Oh,
this
okay,
is-
so they had to have like put themselves on the ballot somehow or something?
They're the ones.
I have a question.
It tells you how they were
It says we have
nominated.
19 votes. Who are the 19 people that are voting?
They were nominated. You look at the very
Who are
bottom.
the 19 people that are voting?
Joe McCon was nominated by the in principle.
It just says that the city cast is 19 votes.
Well, that's how many votes.
Well,
that's how many votes the city of Odom has.
We need
That
that
votes we can give, it's entitled to. Different cities have different amounts.
In the back of the paper, it tells you.
Oh.
Yeah, it tells you.
Well, I was just wondering, like, I wonder, like, how they determine that. Like, did they have to put a letter of interest just to say, like, hey, I'd like to be considered for it, or? I mean, because they're often different towns, and I know this person was chosen from Odum, but like, is it because they put in a letter saying, like, I'd like to be considered, or? You know what I mean? Because I know
How do they determine?
Yeah, how did they determine who would be nominated? Just wondering.
Did we have a say so for the city? I think somebody said we appointed, we helped.
Well, city didn't nominate nobody, so we have no business there.
This was nominated.
We're not part, we don't pay taxes.
It says
County Odom Edward ISD.
Odom Edro ISD nominated Joan McCon.
And City of Aransas Springs.
Chad nominated Marcy.
Well, I say we cast our votes for Joan. She lives here in our city. She's in the Lions Club. She's active in her church. She's a.
I know she's very active. I know she's
Yeah, she's
involved.
very active and involved.
They become a part of the
I'm
tax
okay either way.
anyway.
What do you think, Jess?
I think Marcy and Joan.
Yeah, I think we ought to split up, you know, she is a tax collector, she, we need her in there to see what's going on.
With Appraisal
Yeah.
District. It's a committee that
Yeah,
they.
exactly. If she's not
You
in there,
think that she would automatically do.
you would think. Well, I'll make a motion, we split the votes, but we can't. Like 10 for Joan, because she's from Odom, and then Marcy, the other 9.
I second it.
Okay, motion made by Jesse to split the votes, 10 for Joan McCon and 9 for Marcy Sherman. Yeah,
Marcy.
for Marcy. And then second by Isaac. Any discussion? Okay, we'll take a vote. Phase 1? Yes. Phase 2?
Yes.
Phase 3?
Yes.
Phase 4?
Yes.
Phase 5?
Yes.
Okay, motion passed. Next, we discuss, consider, and take action to approve resolution number 601, closing to the public the 500 through 1400 block of Cook Avenue for the city of Odom, eliminating Christmas parade.
Make a motion that we approve resolutions number 601.
I'll second. Okay, motion made by Isaac, second by Lynette. Any discussion? Okay. Okay, we'll take a vote. Phase 1? Yes. Phase 2? Yes. Phase 3?
Yes.
Phase 4?
Yes.
Phase 5?
Yes.
Okay, motion passed.
Let's get in with the one.
Okay. Next, we have discussed, consider, and take action to approve resolution number 602 in support of the Operation Lone Star Initiatives Grant Ship or Shore.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. I'm here because we're trying to actually apply for, or we applied for another grant. Like I said, the last time we tried to apply for as many grants we can, because we need all the help we can get. This grant is actually the, nobody's really good. Let's see. Two sheets. That's called the Operation Lone Star. What it is, it's, if you look at this first sheet right here that we passed out, it actually tells you introduction, the purpose of the program, and also tells you what law enforcement actually does with it. Of course, the purpose of the program is to enhance the, the border security operations that we're having right now. As y'all seen in the media, we have it from all the way from down south all the way up to north. So we're trying to get into the same grants that everybody gets out there. Everybody applies for this grant. What I like about this grant, it's not only a certain item that you apply for. It actually offers a lot. I'm going to give you the short version. I don't want to go detail everything we're asking for, but if the second page is going to show you actually what we're asking for, and the amount that we're asking for from the grant is $215,916.67. That doesn't mean we're going to take the whole amount. Just like the last time we asked for a certain amount, they give one partial. This one, we get a whole amount, we get half, we get, partial of it. So, but, as if you notice, we're asking for personnel, which means an assistant. They pay for the assistant. This grant goes from September of 2021 to August of 2023. So, if that's the time limit that we have to spend the funds, when we receive the funds. We're asking for personnel as an assistant, but without somebody, who's going to develop and also be able to keep the funds, paperwork, all the stats and everything that we have to turn in to the government, to the governor's office. We're also asking for personnel as a certified peace officer, peace officer. This is also the second part that we see there. Personnel. The officer will be employed there to the grant is actually over. Sometimes what happens in the police department is when we get that officer, the grant pays for it for that year or two. And then what ends up, if we need him, we already have an officer already there based and we can continue, or, it stops when the grant stops.
Are you obligated to get that person if you're awarded the grant?
They're not obligated.
So if you're awarded the grant, you don't necessarily have to hire that person.
We don't have to hire, after the grant, we don't have to hire that person. It's a temporary.
If you are awarded the grant, you're gonna have to hire a person.
We have to hire a person because they're giving that funds. Yeah, once the grant is also, they'll know that it's a grant issue position. So they'll know that once the grant is over, if we don't apply for another grant, we don't have the
So
money
in the
for that
posting,
also.
you would put grant.
Yes, it'll be a grant position.
So this is a 2-year?
This is, actually it's 1 year, but they give you up to 8/31/2023 to use the funds. Of course, because sometimes you order things and it takes a year or two to get here. One of the big things that we're actually asking for is actually a police unit as well. It's an equipped police unit, police vehicles. That's where you see the 58,655. And sometimes if we order that unit, we might not get it for a year or two because the way everything is with COVID right now, and we don't know how long that unit's actually going to take. But like I said, just because we're asking for it doesn't mean we're going to actually get the whole amount. We just wish we get some of it so we could help it out in our department. Yes. Another major thing that we're using is for vests, bulletproof vests, for all 6 officers. So that'll make 6 officers once that officer comes in, and we're asking for vests for new vests. We do have one. We're still missing 2 officers. They're using used vests right now. So this will actually uniform all the officers for new vests. Our vests are usually built maybe for 3 years after they're worn, and they're worn every day. You get sweat on them. You get so much that they wear and tear after a while. You're looking at 2 or 3 years that you have them.
So when the police department, Janie,
I'm sorry.
Sorry, she was reading the.
So when the police department applies for a grant, are they under the umbrella of the city of Odum?
They're under the umbrella of the city of Odum. And I know that the city cannot get grants, but if they can get one without having audit.
This is not an audit grant.
audits,
This is from the
they can
governor's
get 'em.
office. This is a governor's office grant.
Totally something
Yeah,
different.
the governor's office, so we don't need it. These are the grants that we don't need audits right now. That's the ones I'm trying to apply for.
Okay.
So I'm trying to, there's a lot of grants that come out, but the ones that don't need audits, we're trying to apply for those.
This is a grant that we were telling that last month, the fire department, that they should look into it too, because it has to do with like the border patrol and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That they're the ones that.
Has to do with equipment and so on.
Yes, and then they could get equipment too if they were to apply.
Correct.
So you're looking for approval to apply for the grant, or?
We apply for the grant, we just need to do the resolution for it.
Yeah, because we had already approved, right?
That's a
a while
different,
back.
that's a different grant.
That's a
That's
different-
a
That was
different.
not-
That's
that was personnel.
a whole different grant.
Yeah, but it's still associated with the border patrol.
Yeah,
Because
well,
the other one
it's
was also
associated with the government's, the governor's office.
Because that one had already been approved.
That was already been approved, we're actually already using that grant,
Yes.
and so we're actually, on that grant, we're still doing our paperwork and everything. This one, it's a brand new grant, it just came out, so we're using additional positions, vehicles, and certain equipment. The other one was just for overtime.
Okay.
Chief, I got a question on page, what page is that?
For
One.
On the equipment one or the other, one?
That's the grant.
Existing.
Like they explained the grant.
It says existing capacity level. Do we have all that? I know we got a, it says, the target patrol area, the city.
What page you can say?
It's the fourth one, next to the last.
It's a fourth one, the last.
Oh,
Where it says existing capability levels, that's
okay.
the part that you had a question about.
It says there, yeah, like I said, we're gonna patrol, and then it says add San Patricio County. So we patrol the county also?
No, what it is we're in the San Patricio County, so we have to consider San Patricio County. For some reason, we get a pursuit, it moves on to,
Okay.
and then we continue.
Okay, but then it has one chief, correct? One sergeant, do we have a sergeant?
Yes,
And we got 3 full-time police officers
yes.
and 2 part-time?
No, we don't have the part-time, we got rid of the part-time the last time. But when we applied for this grant, that's what we had.
Oh, okay, so that was one set, I don't remember that. Okay.
No.
And then 1 blah, blah, and then 2 blah, blah, all these, right? Do we still got the Durango?
Yes.
Yes,
What I'm saying is that if we were to do this and he was to get it, he hires somebody, they're gonna have to know it's only for the grant.
Okay.
correct,
But it could be renewed.
correct.
I
And
understand that.
we'll always try to apply for another grant to try to keep that officer on.
Okay.
And then we
I just curious, like I said, I just don't remember having any people.
Yeah.
All right, I'll make a motion, we approve resolution number 602, the job patrol.
Motion made by Isaac, second by Yolanda. Any discussion? Okay, now we'll take a vote. Phase 1?
Yes.
Phase 2? Yes. Phase 3?
Yes.
Phase 4?
Yes,
Phase 5?
Yes.
The motion passed.
Thank you, Mayor, for your comment.
thank you, chief.
Okay.
Then we can go to this one. So I can ask you.
I just wanted to bring up, and the parade, if y'all have any questions, just contact Isabel. Isabel's doing a great job on the parade. We're also having the gift giveaway also on Saturday. She's also gotten all those gifts together and everything. Ms. McCourt's helping us out too at the same time to try to wrap and everything after work and stuff like that. But if y'all have any questions, just contact us. We're gonna be out there, of course, Friday, and then we'll be out there Saturday. So.
How are you deciding who gets the gifts?
We give them out to everyone. We don't. We just give it out to they're out. And she's gotten a lot of gifts. She's gotten a lot of donations. Thank the public, because the public's given a lot of donations. They've given a lot of gifts also as well.
Good.
So, but I appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, we're going to take executive session pursuant to section 551.071 of the Texas Government Code, consultation with city attorney for potential litigation. It's time, the time is 7:48.
It is hot.
You want me to stop this?
Yes, please.
No.